Hey, this is Achileez, also known as Kills, recording artist signed to A4 Music Group, and now we present my barrage of questions. Well, Achileez, he's obviously in Greek mythology. He's if I'm not mistaken, a demigod. His mom held him by his ankle and dipped him in a lake that was supposed to make him immortal and impenetrable, all except obviously the ankle she was holding him by. Therefore, you get your Achilles heel. So for me, it stood for weakness, so I called myself Achileez to kind of represent everybody else's weakness. I'm from Broward. I was born and raised in Broward, Fort Lauderdale, Margate, Tamarack, Coral Springs. I mean, you name it, I moved around a lot. Obviously, if you guys haven't noticed yet, you see the way I'm holding this chair. There isn't another arm holding this chair the same way. So there's probably just not an arm on that side. So when you bring that into account, my childhood was a little bit different. My childhood was kind of crazy. You get made fun of a little bit, you get through it, but my parents were really, really insistent upon me being a regular kid, so they made sure I learned how to do everything, Like I tie my shoes with my hand in my mouth. I play video games with my hand in my foot, so, you go through your struggles, but overall, I mean, my parents made sure I was accustomed to life, definitely. Has anybody in here seen the movie Robots? I have a 5-year-old son, so I watch a lot of kiddie movies. And the overall theme throughout the movie Robots was see a need, fill a need. So I'm filling a need. I felt like there's artists obviously out there trying to change the game. And, I want to be one of those artists. I definitely consider myself there doing that. Everything that I talk about in my music, it's not cars, it's not money, it's not drugs, it's a little bit different. I usually try and take a much more lighthearted approach, topics that people can really relate to, have fun with. For me, when I turn on the radio, it's it's funny, you hear that they got to bleep out like every other word, and I don't curse in any of my music. It's something I've been doing for about 4 years now. And, for me, it's more marketable, and like I said, I touch on subjects that I don't think everybody really touches on. A lot of the stuff I do, especially recently, is pertaining to love. A lot of people can relate to love. I do have a lot of fun in my songs, so, it's stuff I really want to, when picking a topic to write about, obviously it's got to be something I know about, it's got to be something that's dear to me. But, at the end of the day, when you write it and when you perform it, it's got to be something that other people can relate to, because that's honestly why music sells. So I have songs where I talk about love. I have a song that I started where I'm talking about, parents raising children and having to teach them about the birds and the bees. Like, those are things that people, you may not necessarily realize you relate to, but yeah, at the end of the day, like, that's something that any parent has had to go through. So I try and make sure that it's relatable. That's the biggest thing for me, is making sure it's relatable. She said disability. I don't know anybody that has a disability in here. Technically, just for, all intents and purposes, the government will not give me disability. They will not place me on disability. So I don't get a special parking spot. I don't get to park up front. They don't consider me disabled, even though there's no arm here. This is not a magic trick. It's gone. But yeah, so for me, I don't necessarily look at it as a disability. Disability is usually, they impede you from doing certain things, and I try not to let this stop me doing anything. So the way I look at it is, technically, there was no other option. But, if people want to look at it as a disability, and it helps them persevere through something, I'm all for it. Whatever you take me to be, if I can be that shining light for somebody, then whatever it is that you want to view me as, perfect. I'm happy with that outlook or that outcome, just because I know that I'm helping people. So, there's times that I reference it in music, usually on a more lighthearted note. I like to be funny with it. So there's a song that I reference needing a hand, because there is no hand there, But normally, hey, you need a hand? Like, I really need one. So it's like an ongoing thing. Everybody knows that I do this all the time. I make fun of myself, and it makes people really uncomfortable, which is probably the best part about it for me. I like to make people uncomfortable. I come in and I write sometimes, just here and there. I'm in the middle of finishing my first real solo project, I guess. If you want to say that we'll even release it as a project. I mean, at this point in time, we've kind of just toyed with the idea that we're just going to release a bunch of singles, and later on down the line, after everybody kind of loves me as the icon and rapper that I am, we'll try and fool all you guys and then release an album with all the songs that I've released as singles, and hopefully you guys will still buy it, not realizing that there's nothing different. I won't even put a new secret track on there. It'll be all the songs that you already know. So, you know, I hope you guys don't remember this way. It's not an issue for you later, but you know, I'm working on my project. I hope to finish it soon. If we do release an actual album or something, I'm more of a fan of doing EPs, much smaller projects, 6-7 tracks where they've got everything that you can put into them. You know, I'm not a fan of like filler tracks and tracks that are there for no purpose. You know, maybe every once in a while an intro and a skit, but nothing crazy. Like, I want my project to be my project. Like, I want it to specifically, you know, have me written all over it. So I want it to be songs that I really, really, you know, care about, songs that I stand for. So I would, you know, I'm not opposed to giving out my number, but I saw what happened to Mike Jones. You know, everybody still knows his number, 281-330-8004. You know, hit Mike Jones up on the low. Nah, you know, I everything that I'm on my social media is THE_ACHILEEZ. That is _Achileez. And if not, you know, you can find me in my house. I'm there a lot. I'm at the studio a lot too, writing. I'm also at the basketball court. You can catch me out there. Get crossed up. I got mad skills on the court. You know what? I want to make sure this is known. Sorry, my stomach is just going crazy. One of my all-time biggest goals, like, this is a huge milestone for me, bucket list. I want to be famous enough that I could play in the NBA All-Star Weekend Celebrity All-Star Game. Like, I want to be in that Celebrity All-Star Game. I'm coming for Kevin Hart. Like, Kevin Hart is not ready for me, which is why I figure I got to do this. I got to be famous, like, within the next year or two, because if not, he's not going to be in his prime, you know, 2-3 years from now, so I got to make sure I get this done quick. And, yeah, you know, just want to make sure I thought of it.